Man, I have such a difficult time doing this. Just recorded a 15-minute video just to scrap it because my mind went blank in 2 seconds. Anywho, 10:56 p.m. Super late. Wasn't planning on making this video. Hopefully, my mind won't stop in the middle of this and I delete the footage. I don't know. Long story short, I'm stressed. I'm stressed about my trading. This video will most likely be overlooked by a lot of people, and that's completely fine. I'm not asking for advice. I'm not asking for help. I'm not asking for anything with this video. It's really just to speak my mind on where I am within my trading and this really pivotal moment, I would call it. This video really will be the most important video probably on my channel regarding my trading, and I'll talk about why. So right now I'm very stressed. I've been stressed for the past week, if I'm being completely honest. I've had a lot of things to do but been overlooking them, solely focusing on trying to get the best understanding of my model that I can right now. Been pushing off editing a vlog for who knows how long, almost a week, 2 weeks now, just because my mind's been at this. But at what specifically pertaining to my model? If I'm being completely honest, I've been struggling with comparison recently. Heavy on the comparison, heavy on going on social media, seeing people top tick, bottom tick, seeing people trade every single day, whether that be get stopped out or even just hit take profit, doesn't really matter. For you guys that do not know, I do love to trade. I love to execute upon my model daily. I love to see what happens. I love seeing it happen live. I don't really care whether or not I get stopped out, hit take profit. I'm so far past that. But I do love going into the market and executing. And man, dang it. And so why is this happening? Why am I stressed? Why is all this happening? Because it's not just comparison. Recently, I've been really strict on focusing on the highest probability setups, and that's caused my trade frequency to lower. Not because there aren't any setups for me to take, not because there aren't any winning trades, but because I'm choosing to not take them in order to prove to myself I have the understanding of executing, I have the understanding of knowing when to execute upon the highest probability setups pertaining to my model. And that's caused a lot of doubt within my mind. I backtested my data. I know my data is sustainable. However, okay, dang, I guess I'm really just gonna tell you guys the truth. Dang it. Okay, the truth is, I know I'm finally so close to making something out of this trading thing. I've had so many times where I've gotten so close, more times than I could count, to where I thought that this is the time, this is it, finally, my breakthrough is here. This is where I really make something out of trading. This is where I finally become consistent, where I finally become a trader, where I do this full time, where I'm able to start living the life I've dreamt of, living the life I know I can live. And a lot of times I fell short, to be honest. Every single time I fell short. But this time, to me, was different. Different in the sense of I finally have clarity within the market. It took me 2.5 years to truly have it full understanding of how to trade. full understanding to where price action goes on a daily basis, the timing of which I execute, how to avoid the lowest probability setups, how to, rewire my mind, the psychological aspect of my mind pertaining to my trading in order to not break my rules, in order to stay disciplined, in order to, be calm, in order to, do all of these different things that are required in order for you to become a trader. And, well, this time, my mind was shouting at me, telling me how close I am to finally making this vision a reality. That this time, I know every single time, every third time I said it would be different. But this time, it's actually different because I have the proof, I have the evidence to back up my claims. And so I have this whisper telling me this in one ear, but on my eyes, I'm looking at a clock, and that clock is ticking, and it's counting down the time between me achieving my vision, bringing it to fruition, and the duration of which I'm still going to have to remain in this building phase before I get there. And I'm not gonna lie, it's starting to really mess with my head, because I don't want this to be a situation to where, and just like again, I got an understanding of a model, nope, I think something goes wrong, time to refine it again, time to switch it again, time to spend another 2 months refining something in order to then hope that this time it's it. And it's not strictly about my model, it's about me, if I'm being completely honest. I feel like there's so many identities of a trader that I want to be. I want to be the trader that catches high RR trades and is fine with having a lower win rate. I want to be the trader that's hitting those base hits, those consistent 101s, 102s. I want to be that trader that has a dynamic risk reward, that goes into the market and, is able to catch moves. Sometimes, on average, he catches a 1 2. Sometimes he holds for the entire move, catches a 1 6. Catches a move that's like, that was a good trading day. There's so many identities I want to fit into, and I've tried to fit into pertaining to trading for so long. I've done the swing trading, I've done the intraday trading, I've done the scalping, I've done the specific session trading. I've traded London, I've traded New York, I've traded Asia. Dude, I've done everything. I've done the top ticking, I've done the bottom ticking, I've done the mid ticking. I've traded the continuations, I've traded the reversals. If you look back at my videos, all of my videos, you can see I've gone through all of these dynamics. And what I'm really just trying to say here is, I have this vision of a trader I want to be. But even then, there's sort of a fog around him. I can't fully see who he is or what he does or how he trades. And it's not like I have to see him, but it's blurry. I don't know. I know at the end of the day, all of this trading stuff is just about making money. We're just trying to make money and live our lives. That's the goal. It doesn't matter if you have a 1 to 100 risk reward or a 1 to 1. We're all just trying to make money and live our lives, have the freedom that this trading provides. I don't know. Man, I hold myself to such a high regard pertaining to my trading and pertaining to my life in general. And after a while, it really starts to eat you up mentally. There's a lot of things I don't talk to you all about, if I'm being completely honest, or talk to anyone about, really, because I choose not to. But holy cow. I'm trying to keep this as broad, like surface level as possible without going into in depth, because I don't want to talk about, like, actually talk about, like, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, but yeah, so pertaining to my trading right now, what do I want out of it? What's happening? Why am I stressed about my trading? Because it's not just that. That's the psychological part. There's a technical part too. So, pertaining to my trading, I wasn't planning on, like, saying this, but for the past couple of days, I really been... Okay, it's been longer than a couple of days. Week and a half. It's been whispering in my ear. I want a top tick and bottom tick. Now, I'm not done talking. Listen, hear me out. I want to top tick and bottom tick. I see everyone doing it, and I know I can. And the truth is, I kind of do top tick and bottom tick. I just don't actually get the tick. I kind of like top move and bottom move because I'm catching reversals. But that going on social media, seeing everybody top ticking and bottom ticking, and then paired with the fact that I've had low trade frequency recently, has been like... So what are we doing here? So I've been learning how to top tick and bottom tick. I've been trying to understand different entries, still keeping my main reversal model, but understanding different entries, understanding, hey, am I lacking, like, what am I lacking in my trading? Now that we're all-time highs, am I lacking a continuation model? Is my model still fine and I'm just being too strict on it, pertaining to specific closures and specific developments and price action? Like, what's happening? And that doubt caused me to try to utilize different entries, catch crazy trades. This right here, this 45k P&L is a mix between data from me, or really like 98% of it is me trying to top tick and bottom tick. You can see win rate is cursed. 178 trades. This is really majority today. I woke up at 10 a.m. and I've been back testing 11 p.m. Went to the gym for an hour, scrolled my phone for an hour and a half. So yeah, I'm kind of burnt out, I'm not gonna lie. And you can see the RR ranges, average of 7, max 20. Gains are there statistically, but I just don't. I tried to really implement it into my Notion journal, but to me it lacks too much clutter. My head hurts, and that's definitely because I don't have enough confluences. I know why, by the way. I just don't have enough confluences, and statistically, this is, I mean, actually, I'm not going to say anything statistically impossible. Screw that. But it's really messing with my head in terms of how I want to trade. What am I trying to say here, dude? I want higher RR with my current model. I just want to trade. I just want to trade. I want to trade, I want to execute upon my model, I want to follow my rules regardless of whether it's a win or loss. You know, I think by getting this payout, and I know I always talk about it, don't allow a payout or a profit target to psychologically affect you, and it's not about that. I'm just mentioning it for a reason. I'll tell you why I'm mentioning. But I think me wanting to focus on the highest probability setups in order to obviously prove to myself that I can understand what highest probability setups is, but also like get to this payout, has slightly affected me really just trading. The whole point of me having recorded these videos every single day was for me to just trade. You know, a lot of the time I sometimes feel the need to prove to you all, even though I have nothing to prove to you guys, that hey, I could really make this work, you know. But truth is, I can honestly care less about what any of you think. Shoot, I could care less about what anyone thinks, if I'm being completely honest, even myself, pertaining to my doubts and pertaining to, you know, whatever, right? But it's affecting my trading, and dude, I'm going in circles. Like, this is where I would end the recording and just scrap it. Dang, man. Because I know what I want to say, but I'm purposely filtering it before I say it. I'm going to continue to work on my trading model. I'm going to focus on increasing the risk reward. Keeping, really increasing the trade frequency. By increasing the trade frequency, I mean allowing myself to loosely trade and not chain myself. I don't know, man. I am still going to look into the top ticking, bottom ticking. It's not like it's not profitable. It definitely is. But I think a lot of people, man, it's like you go on social media and I think we forget that everything is a highlight reel. We don't see the losses, all we see are the wins. So when you see everyone winning, and they don't post any losses, you start to go through your losing phase. You start to sit there and think like, shoot, man, why me? What am I doing wrong? But yeah. So the two things I am planning on doing is, one, refining my model a little bit more. I'm thinking about maybe utilizing the seconds time frame. When backtesting, I realized what I call certain concepts actually isn't what it turns out to be on the seconds time frame, specifically for what I call the micro change state delivery. It's actually not a change state delivery on the seconds time frame. It's a little bit different, but I'm able to recognize that. I don't know, maybe it has a name, but dang, man, my mind is going blank. It's not going blank, I'm just not still on track. Anyway, so I'm gonna refine that, go on the seconds time frame, see if I could get increased risk reward, maybe better entries. Well, increased risk reward would be result in better entries will result in increased risk reward. Even draws on liquidity, holding a little bit longer maybe, toward higher time frame internal. and seeing how I can have the highest probability top tick and bottom ticks. When first looking into it, I told myself, I know I can do this. If I really want to do something, I know I can do it. It doesn't mean I'll be able to learn it immediately, but I know I can do it. And so, since I told myself I'm going to do this, it's not just because I told myself, I want to do this. I want to understand the top ticking, bottom ticking. Obviously, like, it's a social media trend, but I want to understand it, and I want to pair it as a secondary model with how I'm trading right now, or at least understand how I can implement it in a way that I find suiting toward my trading. It's like I'm at the finish line, and I know it's only a couple more steps in order to cross that finish line, but the weight of the entire race is really starting to hit you. And you're starting to have doubts on whether or not, hey, can I really come first in this? You got second place right on your neck, you know, and you're trying to muster up all the strength you can in order to make that final sprint to cross the finish line and make it first. Shoot, I guess that's how I feel right now. Because I know how trading works. Like, man, you spend 1 month for fun. Like, your life can change in a single month. I've literally had mine in the past change in 2 weeks. It was crazy. Like, it's so possible. But this time, I'm gonna make sure it's sustainable and consistent, so I don't just win once and lose it all over again. But instead, make sure it's here to stay. Holy moly. Vlogs may be delayed. Sorry, I have footage from 2 weeks ago. I've been delaying the edit. I want to really take my time and edit the footage and add, you know, clips and stuff like that, and text and blah blah blah. But I'm just so focused on wanting to figure this out. I don't know, it's like my old ego is back towards like, all I want to do is just sit on the chart and figure this out. I don't know what it is. I just want to figure it out. And I don't want to leave my desk until I figure it out. Like, if I go on my phone, it disturbs me. If I go on TikTok, it disturbs me. If I'm at the gym, okay, well, I can stay at the gym forever. But anything outside of that, I want to figure this out. I want to make this work. I'm going to make this work. And I'm so close to finally making it work. And no, I don't need anyone recommending me a strategy or anything of the sort. Because mine works fine. I'm just at that point to where I'm getting impatient, I guess. Dude, like, what are my problems? What are my problems? Well, really nothing. Just allowing social media to infect my mind. And overexerting myself in order to reach standards that I've set for myself that I will eventually reach. However, I have to allow it time in order for me to get there. Um, I just don't want to go back into that loop. It's prison, dude. Anyways. Yeah, that's how I feel right now. I'm gonna keep backtesting, keep seeing how I can refine my model. And you know what? Forget the payouts, forget all the accounts for a second. I'm so past that. I could care less if I blow the account and someone's like, oh, you know, Lonnie sucks at what he does, or even if I think that. I'm just gonna trade. I'm gonna trade, I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna win. And I'm gonna see where I need work. And then I'm gonna put in the work to refine it. But yeah. I'll probably make a follow-up video on this, but dang it, dude. And then I tore my hand open. You guys can't see, but I tore my hand open right here. And right here. Deadlifting. Yeah. Anyway, remember, you're not alone. Everybody has doubts. Everybody has fears. All we can do when we have those is outwork our self-doubt. So outwork your self-doubt. I love you guys. If you watch this video to the end, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm clearly, I don't know, but I can't talk. But in all seriousness, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope in a month we can make a follow-up video to this, to where we have grown. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night.